us now on the phone. First of all, do you think the FBI did an honest investigation?
Well, Bill, I don't want to talk about honesty, but it was certainly surprising, especially in the middle of the talk when he talked about all of the mistakes that you made. You made great mistakes, and it sounded to me like there was no choice but to convict or to go to, some form of very harsh punishment. And they didn't do that. And I can tell you, everybody was stunned at the end because, if you listen to it, it sounds like she had horrible judgment. She didn't know what she was doing. She was sloppy. She was just about as bad as you can be.
Okay.
And then in the end, the recommendation was what the recommendation was. So I was surprised by that after listening to the first half of the speech.
Do you believe there's politics involved here? Do you believe that the FBI and the Justice Department got together in some way, shape, or form and said, you know what, we're not going to disrupt the electoral process. She's running for president. We're going to cut her more slack than we would someone else. Do you believe that?
Well, my problem is that I know people in the FBI. I have such respect for the FBI that I just don't understand what happened here because everybody knows, everybody realizes. I've spoken to many, many lawyers, as you have, and you had them on your show, and you've read about it, and everybody knows she's extremely guilty. And they really said she was guilty today, and then they said, we're not going to prosecute. And then you remember what happened to General Petraeus and other people, and they suffered tremendous consequences.
Yeah, but it was a difference. As we said, Petraeus had intent. He knew what he was doing. He gave it to his girlfriend. And Comey said that there was no intent by Secretary Clinton to subvert the process. She did it.
I think she had intent, though. I mean, to me...
Oh, well, okay, that's interesting. Now, you say that Hillary Clinton wanted to subvert the national security process of this country. Is that what you're saying?
Well, she knew what she was doing, Bill. She knew what she was doing.
But she could say, well, I didn't know the repercussions of what I was doing. She can say that.
But she's a lawyer. She knew what was going on. And frankly, even if she didn't, what she did was wrong. And, whether you had intent or not is not the defining characteristic of this. You can make a mistake and you're still guilty, because you're talking about national security. And there are a lot of reasons for guilt. So it's very, very surprising. To me, I think it's really surprising. And I'm not just talking about from today, from Director Comey. I'm talking about, generally speaking, people would say there's no way she can avoid this because of what's happened to other people.
But you believe that she did it on purpose, don't you?
Well, I certainly believe something strange happened because when you put your servers in basements and when you, look at all of the information that was just wiped clean, whether it by lawyer or anybody else. And I just look at it, and we know that she had, classified information on her server, and she said she didn't have classified information on her server. So when you look at all of the facts, she certainly lied. At a minimum, she lied. And you're not supposed to be lying when you're dealing at this level. And then you have the husband going around the tarmac, and I've been on a lot of tarmacs, and nobody ever runs into your plane. And he talked for 39 minutes about his grandchildren and about golf. It's not the way life is. It's just not the way life happens.
So basically what you're saying, though, is that the Clintons, committed a crime because if the president was trying to influence the justice system, that would be an obstruction there. You're basically saying Hillary Clinton did it on purpose. She knew that she was going to put national security in jeopardy, but she did it anyway. And her husband tried to obstruct justice. That's what you're saying tonight.
Well, she knew that was going to happen because of what she was doing. It just wasn't secure. So she knew that was going to happen. And as far as her husband is concerned, I mean, who just happens to be, waiting on a tarmac and all of a sudden run in and talk about grandkids and golf for supposedly 39 minutes? I mean, it doesn't happen that way. Life doesn't happen that way.
If you're elected president, are you going to fire Attorney General Lynch and Director Comey?
I don't want to comment on that. I really don't want to comment on that because it's inappropriate at this moment. But I will tell you that I believe that what happened over the last 4 or 5 days has been a total miscarriage in justice. And I really believe that what happened is shocking, and it's certainly shocking to legal scholars, and I watch them and talk to them all the time. They can't believe what happened.
Do you
And
believe?
whether it's General Petraeus or others that have suffered grave consequences for what they did, Bill, I think it's a great miscarriage of justice.
Do you believe the fix was in, and did President Obama have anything to do with it?
Well, it was very strange, the timing, because I see him, talking making a speech a couple of hours after this happened. Certainly it was very strange to be having your meeting with the FBI on the, one of the biggest holidays of the year. I mean, certainly 4th of July weekend, and having meetings on Saturday, and then the speech, and everybody knew she was going to be in North Carolina on Monday, and then, the semi-exoneration. I don't even know if you'd call it an exoneration, because there were so many bad things said about what she did.
No, she wasn't
she's like
exonerated. She just wasn't prosecuted. But you dodged my question. Do you believe?
Basically, they're saying she's incompetent.
Okay.
If she's not dishonest, she's certainly incompetent.
He clearly said that, Comey did. But I'm going to pose the question again. Do you believe the fix was in and that President Obama was involved in that?
I think it's extremely unusual that he is speaking 2 hours after the so-called exoneration, that he's speaking in North Carolina, where I'm heading right now, by the way. I'm going to Raleigh, where we have a big crowd. But I think it's a very unusual set of circumstances. And it began with President Clinton going into an airplane, just like, oh, gee, hey, this is wonderful. And a lot of people are saying, where was he before? Was he playing golf, or did he just go there, see her, and then leave? Because some people are saying that's what happened. Nobody knows where he was. Did he fly in and fly right out? Because that's a whole different circumstance. Because he said he was just in North Carolina. A lot of people thought he was playing golf, but they haven't been able to find out where he played golf.
Okay.
So, regardless, you have a set of circumstances which is absolutely a horrendous set of circumstances as far as I'm concerned, and as far as a lot of great lawyers are concerned.
Are you going to accuse President Obama of influencing the case, and are you going to accuse Hillary Clinton of committing a crime?
I'm going to further look into it, and we will see what we shall see. And you will be certainly one of the first to know. That I can tell you. But okay. I'm going to look into it very, very strongly, and we will see what we will see.
All right. We appreciate you coming on tonight. I know it's a very busy day for you. Thank you. And there is plenty more ahead as the factor moves along this evening. Is it legal on deck?